Hi. Well, I'm here this morning. I want to discuss the population explosion versus abortion rights. And now, in pertaining to the population explosion, I read about a week ago that the Hispanic population had edged past the white majority until they're now the majority. Well, Doc here is heatedly disputing my facts. He says that that isn't true, that that hasn't happened. And what I read, it said that it's happening a lot sooner than projected.
Well, where did you read it?
I read it on the internet.
Kind of tell you something right there, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, well he doesn't read the internet on the internet, so I don't know how he can be right and me wrong. But anyway, this, regardless of whether they've edged past or are going to, I'm going to talk about, I think I'm qualified to talk about this subject because I lived on the west side for 20 years here in Phoenix in a district that was 90% Mexican. And my kids graduated from high school there. My daughter speaks now, studied in college and now speaks fluent Spanish. And my son married a Mexican girl, so I interrelated with her family. And I have a half Mexican grandson as well as a half black grandson because my daughter had a baby when she went to college with a guy from Khartoum who was both Arabic and black.
Sudanese. South Africa or Africa?
No, well, it's Khartoum. And he had Arabic.
It's in Africa, right?
Right. And so when you got grandsons of mixed blood, you're going to be even more motivated to study the people and try to understand them. And I know, I think one of the most disturbing things that people find are all the young Mexican mothers and all the children that they have. I know I used to go to my clinic, which was all nearly all Mexican, since to get my medications, and my last companion, Pierre, would go with me. My companion before him.
The dead guy?
Yes, he died. Well, he would...
I'm looking forward to that. I really am. I'm seriously looking forward to the being numbered next week.
Right.
Jeez.
Well, anyway, he would be very perturbed when he'd see all these little Mexican mothers with maybe 4 or 5 little kids. I was used to it. And he'd say, look at that, look at that. They're coming up here from Mexico. They're getting on welfare. They've got all these kids. And I'd say, well, yeah, I just deal with it. And, well, it just upset him. And he was from Canada. And he only had a green card. So why was he getting all upset? Well,
I don't think they have a lot of Mexicans in Canada, to be honest.
No, well,
seriously.
No, but yeah,
I'm back from St. Louis,
that's
Missouri.
true.
I never even saw a Mexican in St. Louis. I didn't.
Oh well,
they would go in Illinois, you know, over to the fields and
that was
it. See them, right? You
You had no idea there was any Mexicans in the United States.
I knew that.
Well,
I'll tell you something else I knew.
What?
There were no blacks immigrating to the United States illegally. They were already here. They were brought up in the Civil War, okay?
Right. Oh, you know that. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think that...
Mississippi River, you get New Orleans.
And now you say that the majority in St. Louis is now black? Is that what you told me?
Yes, it is. It's about 70% black.
Well, what happened to the whites?
Oh gosh, come on.
They fled? They fled?
To the suburbs, what do you think?
Oh, they weren't going to mix. Well, from the Mexican and the black point of view, having a majority is good because they can get a lot more benefits.
St. Louis has one of the highest, if not next to Detroit, crime rates. Crime rates in the United States.
Well, let's take on the west side what I experienced. I never heard so much gunshots and gang wars in my whole entire life. But did that make me...
And you know what?
What?
I did hear gunshots at night.
Yes,
you
you
know?
did. On
But they weren't
weekends,
headed in my
you would hear
direction,
them.
so-
Yeah. But my contention is this comes from having an unsettled population, people coming
Does
and
this
going
make them
from
civilized?
Mexico. And I think, but what I think is the Mexican people are generally Catholic, and they're not going to go for abortion. Now say, take China. They have a dictatorship and a one-person policy. I have had that for years, and you're forced to get an abortion over there if you get pregnant and you've had too many. Well, in this country, what are we going to do? I mean, now the Catholic position is abortion is wrong. Now, is that
I
wrong?
thought you were agnostic.
I'm not agnostic. Oh hell no! I'm not agnostic. I'm not Catholic.
You're
But
Mormon?
I believe.
Are you Mormon?
I believe that the Catholics are right. That you do not. Abortion is against humanity, and to me, the Mexican or anybody who believes in life has probably got a superior philosophy of life. I think the people who have opted have said, no, we've got to kill people in order to control and keep our rights and our good life. Well, to me, that's like war. We've got to kill to save. Well, and the Catholics are seeking other solutions besides abortion. And if we dedicate ourselves completely to other solutions, then I think that our spiritual health will not be endangered as it is now and as it is in China, I think. I think having their philosophy of life would be a very depressing regime to live under. Now, what I was struck by on the West Side is how Mexicans can tolerate all kinds of people living with them. They're always helping people out. I've seen it where they have 13 kids in a 3-room house.
You say all kinds of people.
Yes.
These people are all Latino Mexicans.
Yes.
There's no Dagos. There's no.
But they can be relatives or they can
Germans,
be illegals. They're trying to help.
There's no Irish. There's no Chinese.
I knew this one family with 13 kids.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
And they were very smart kids. They were extra smart. They were the valedictorians and so on. But they could have as many as 25 people living in this little house of relatives and them they were helping. Well, my God, I thought, oh, I could never tolerate that. That would drive me crazy. But what I saw in the Mexicans is they have this great capacity to tolerate people. Now, my daughter-in-law, I'd go to her house and they'd be full of people they were helping. And, I'd look at it and say, oh, this is chaos. Oh, I can't stand this. Well, because I was used to just being by myself. I had a great big 5-bedroom apartment after the kids left, and I just rattled around in that all by myself.
How many apartments did you have?
I had a three bedroom.
You said 5
Well, I didn't mean that. I meant 5 room, and they were all big rooms over there on the West Side. Because by HUD law, every kid had to have, if they were male or female, had to have a room of their own. So you could, and so they built these HUD apartments that I happened to get in, so that I could have, because my kids were boy and girl. So here are some of these Mexican families were living all squeezed up, and here I was rattling around in 5 great big rooms.
Why didn't you invite them over?
Well, I felt guilty. I said, I got to get out of here as soon as possible. But I just couldn't get out because I started tending my grandson. So I said, well, I'll have to tend him a while, and I'm going to leave and move downtown to the senior citizens. And that's what I did. But while I was living there, I observed all the ways of, and I just saw that there were some very outstanding people who had this great love, this great tolerance for lots and lots of people. And their wisdom was coming out of that. It was people generated. They studied each other. They studied people. While we stay in our rooms and we look at the internet and we study books and we don't interact. Well, to me,